Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries again today. Won't keep you. Thanks for joining me. Today we previewed me having to move out of my own house at 17 under doctor's orders. So let's get into that 1, 2, 3. Where I came out, to whom I came out, why I ended up on the street, where I ended up, and then what briefly happened from that point on. So officially came out to 14, kind of doesn't count, came out, it was really weird, to my best friend, mentor 28 years since I was 12. But kind of first official coming out was in this psychologist's office that I was seeing, because I'd been seeing shrinks since I was 9. And we had sort of a plan for me to come out with mom in the session. So this session begins. I stumble through coming out as gay. Now, Liz, my mother, having kind of, immersed me in the lives of gay men since she ran Saks in the 60s, as we all know, knowing every queen in town. But suddenly she's angry and surprised. So again, her affect, as they say, her reaction was sullen, kind of pouty, angry. And so I worked through it as best I could. My shrink worked through it as best as he could. But I had been seeing him for about a year, and he had come to a conclusion about Mommy Dearest here. And that was, in very vague terms, that she could be someone considered borderline, borderline psychotic, compulsive psychotic, borderline schizophrenic. Now, since I've learned I have Asperger, I take every mental health diagnosis with a grain of salt. I lived with whatever bipolar and was taking drugs for for 40 years. But here I am, I come out, there's this weird reaction that I did not expect, some sort of embracing of the idea. So now I'm officially out. So then there's this indescribable awkwardness in the house that suddenly I have a lifestyle that has to be dealt with. So my psychologist, knowing this tumultuous, beyond bizarre, tumultuous, toxic relationship with my mom, observing it, observing her, observing me, finally gives me an edict. And that edict is not a 5150, but he says that based on all things considered, if I don't move out of my home that I bought to get away from my mom, who was now single because my monstrous stepfather had moved out, that my psychologist was going to put me in some sort of living situation, rehab situation. And he was dead serious. He would pursue it. Not necessarily strictly enforce it, but he would do what he could. So I didn't want that to happen. So I secured a tiny, tiny, tiny little hole in the wall in Laurel Canyon, in Los Angeles. The Doors song, "She Lives on Love Street," that's actually Laurel Canyon. So I found a tiny little place way up there. This was an actress friend of mine. She's well known. If you've seen the movie Nashville, she was sort of the sad, pathetic, sort of supper club, nightclub singer that wasn't very good, kind of miserable character. Brilliant actress. She's since passed. We lived together. She was in the house above. I was in this tiny